This week on the Cruising Kiwis, we return to Javelo to discover a fuel leak.
So that there, it's all diesel.
We learn a lesson about life from Tane Mahuta, the king of the forest. And dolphins guide us out into the Bay of Islands.
Thank you. So I just opened this hatch, and I don't even quite know what I'm going to find yet, but I've just opened this hatch. We've been away for a couple of days, and this wafting of fumes.
Actually, I went into our cabin and I thought, wow, there's a really strong smell.
Diesel. So you've got to inquire, you've got to make some inquiries. There's something's not right here. So I smell it and I thought, whoa, there's something here. I've just opened this hatch up, looked in here, I just thought I'd get this torch actually.
Yeah.
So that there, you can see the diesel line where it's up to the side there, where it's... Did you say when you got back to the boat that you saw diesel on the surface?
Well, then we could see oil on the surface.
Oil on the surface?
Well, it looked oily.
Yeah, well diesel is oily.
Right, there you go then.
So that's what you saw. You didn't think to inquire further at that
Just
stage?
in there. I did. I looked around on the water and I thought, where is that coming from? And it seemed to be going up that way. So I thought, oh, that's okay. It's not our boat then. And I just sat down and watched TV instead.
Until somebody else came over.
I went and put the
What
shopping
heck's going on
away.
here?
So
So,
I
I,
put shopping away. It was far more important to me.
so we're looking down in here, there must be a leak. Now, I suspect there's a leak in one of the pipes. I'm going to inquire further. You know what I reckon it would be is one of the hose clamps is cut
That
through.
one on the top, look there where your head was really close. It's wet. Look, that one
Oh,
there. Yeah.
it is weird. Oh, here it is.
Yay! I found
Rachel
it.
diagnosed. Oh, yeah, look, it's pouring it.
Yeah. So
It's
how
just
come
hose
that's
clamp
gotten loose?
Oh, I suspect it's cut through.
Wow, that is
Pouring out.
pouring out.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Finn, can you turn off the fuel tank, please? The supply to the port engine. Yeah, look at that.
Turn off the fuel.
Yep. Wow. How long's that been going like that?
Well, I guess since you filled it up again.
Yeah. So this was leaking here, and I found out this was hose clamped. But there was just a little cut in the hose, like it was actually a bit longer the hose. So I've cut the hose off where it was leaking, which was just there. And so I've shortened it up a little bit, and now it's all fixed. Hooray! What a beautiful thing. Another crisis averted. To celebrate, we, minus Rachel, set off for Northland's west coast to show Rika New Zealand's largest kauri tree, Tane Mahuta, king of the forest. Any last words, Rachel?
I wish I was coming with you.
Yeah.
I wish I was over here.
We're off to see
Stay at home to edit.
the editing queen, and we're going to see Tane Mahuta. Here we come. Ivan's got the helm. Here comes the foo.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Lovely little spot where we are anchored off. Okay, here we are. We're off to, where are we going? To Tane, we're going to see Tane Mahuta.
Tane Mahuta.
Yeah, that's,
Was that
yeah,
right?
that's, yeah, something like that. And we're very excited.
Yes, I am.
Are we excited, boys? We're very excited. That's about as excited as I've seen the boys in a long time. I forget the name of the forest, it's not good, but there's lots of beautiful specimen kauri trees there, and we're very, very much looking forward to seeing them, aren't we, boys?
Yes. I'm sure they're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. On the way back, you're gonna be so excited.
You're going to love it, boys. We're going to sing a welcoming song to Rika now, everyone. Okay, boys? With me. This time, 1, 2, 3. You know the song, Haere mai. Everything is kapai. Kapai means good.
Okay.
You're here at last. You're really here at last. Haere mai. Not a cloud in the sky.
Except it's a cloudy day.
Except it's a bit cloudy today. To coin a phrase, this is the day of days. Haere mai. We're proud of you, that's why. There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. There's coffee. Let's have a coffee. We
Oh,
need a
yeah.
coffee after that. Far
I
out.
think so too.
I'm exhausted.
Good.
So here we are at Tane Mahuta. Tane Mahuta. Oh wow. Beautiful. In order to better understand how this tree has survived for nearly 2,000 years, Conrad from the Department of Conservation shared the King of the Forest's 5 defence mechanisms. It's a long talk, but well worth the listen, so hang in there.
The scaly bark on the tree, it's for a defense for those 2 vines you can see at the base of the tree. That green vine trying to crawl up. And what happens
Yeah.
is little pieces of bark will fall away.
Yeah.
And when they fall away, they'll sever the stem. And then anything above the severed stem will die off. And it stops the vine from growing all the way up to the top of the tree and suffocating his foliage. And he's also protecting an ecosystem up there in the top of the tree.
It sure is.
So up there in his canopy, he's got about 100 different plant species. Grasses, shrubs, orchids, epiphytes, lichen, mosses. There's even a tōtara tree and a pahutakawa tree up there as well.
Oh, really?
And it's the weight of all of the branches, all of the ecosystem, all of that weight pushing down on the trunk is what's causing that diamond crisscross pattern you can see going up and down the tree.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they're young, they grow up in a twist, but you can't see it. And that's because their canopy hasn't developed the weight yet. But, so if you look at that tree over there, that tree's 400 years old.
That one just in the gap there?
Yep. But you can't see
400 years
any
old.
lines or twists in that tree because
No,
the
that's
canopy's small.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when it will push down on the trunk, and that's when all the lines will show up in the tree.
It's
So
amazing.
if they just grew straight up and down, like a tōtara tree, when the weight developed at the top,
Yep.
it would split the trunk down the middle. So that's why they grow up in a twist. So when the weight developed at the top, they just sit back down on the twist.
That's extraordinary.
Can you see that snap branch over to the left?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And it looks like wood hanging down.
Yep.
So that's not wood, that's Cody gum. Because they're up there with the storms and the winds, that's what causes the branches to break out.
Yep.
And when they break out, the gum oozes out of the end of the snap. It goes hard. All of that outside jagged wood's gonna rot, and it rots all the way until it hits the gum. The gum stops the rot, heals the branch, and then once the branch is healed, he'll grow another branch out of the end of the snap. Look over to the right, you'll see a branch the same thickness as the one that snapped,
Yep.
and it's got a cap on the end of it. And then from the top of that cap growing out to the right is the new branch.
Out of that.
So it
Okay.
doesn't matter if the branches of a Cody tree snap out, they just heal it up and grow another one. See those bumps going up and down the tree? Those are from when the branches have fallen out, hit the trunk, and gouged out a big wound.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's bled out all of the gum. The gum's gone hard, and it's helped the tree to heal the trunk, so no water or bugs
Can
or
get in,
fungi
yeah,
can
yeah.
get in and eat away at the healthy wood. Those are 4 defenses: the scales for the vines, the bumps for the falling branches, the twist for the heavy canopy, and the healing and regrowing of his own branches. They've got one more defense mechanism,
Yeah.
and that's up in the top of the tree. Up there they need soil for those 100 different plant species,
Of course.
and it needs to stay wet, and wet soil rots wood. And so what the tree does is produces a big cap of Cody gum in the top of the tree, and the job of that Cody gum is to hold all the soil and all the moisture in the top of the tree so it doesn't rot down into the heartwood of the tree and kill the tree.
Oh, okay.
So those are all the defenses of a Cody tree. There's one thing they cannot defend themselves from though, and that's us. And so that's why the boardwalk's here, because his root system is quite shallow, and us just standing on the ground breaks those root systems. And so that's why the boardwalk's here. And now he's got a new threat, which is Cody dieback disease, and that travels around in the soil, and it gets into the tree's root system, and it starts to eat away at the tree's roots. And then once all of that's gone, it can't feed itself, and it starts to starve to death. And so that's why we keep everybody on the boardwalk and wash everybody's shoes before they come in, so that we can protect our tree from this disease. My favorite part about the tree is his root system, because that's the part of the tree that highlights the respect he has for his environment, and that's because of the balance he's developed with his environment. And so shooting 5 meters deep are their tap roots. And when you think about a tree this big,
Yeah, it's not
5 meters deep, that's
it's not much, is it? No.
well connected to that root system and up towards the surface is their lateral feeding root system. They go double the width of the canopy. So they go all the way out to that back platform
Oh, really?
and they go right around the tree. On the end of that are the peg roots. And they're about that thick and they shoot into the ground 5 meters and their job is to hold the mat down. But even all of that root system, the peg roots, the lateral roots and the tap roots are still not enough to hold the tree in the ground. All the weight of all of these other little trees
Ah,
and their roots woven in with his roots and the weight pushing down on his roots
yeah.
is what's holding him in the ground. So if all of these trees around us were to disappear in the next storm, he comes falling down because the weight
Very
of the
safe.
dirt alone is not heavy enough to hold him in the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's the balance that he's come to within his environment. Even though he's the most dominant tree in the forest, the most dominant tree in the whole country, he doesn't want to dominate too much. That's why they only grow to the height of the secondary canopy. Notice how his trunk stops
Yeah,
at the height of all the other trees.
yeah.
And that's why the branches break out and regrow. Because if he grew really, really,
Too
really
tall?
tall, shaded everybody else out like an umbrella,
Yeah.
none of his mates will grow. And if none of his mates grow, then in the next big storms, he falls over. And so that's the respect he shows that balance, because he knows without that balance, he can't survive. And so that's the lesson he's trying to send to us as people, because we seem to have lost our balance with the rest of the world. And
Oh, yeah.
it's that balance we need to get back, because if we tip the balance, just like Tane without his trees around him, we're going to fall off. And so that's his lesson he's trying to teach us and the rest of the world, and hopefully he's going to send out to the rest of the world.
Ka pai. Kia ora. It's fantastic. Conrad, thank you. That evening, as we headed out into the Bay of Islands, we reflected on Conrad's words and our impact on the environment. I think the world is slowly waking up to the enormous amount of harm we do. New Zealand recently banned single-use plastic shopping bags, a step in the right direction. As if drawn by our thoughts, a pod of dolphins came to swim off our bow, to lift our spirits and tell us it's all going to be fine. I hope they're right.
Cause all you have is time, so don't you run and hide. Surprise yourself with laughter, learn to treat your mother kind. Sing a song with words that rhyme, sit back, look up, I bet you say God damn, ain't this a beautiful world? Damn, we got a beautiful world. And I said God damn, ain't this a beautiful world? Life is a beautiful world.